dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality, constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream, free to live, and one day to become the commander and be free to blaze your own trail? Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
In-system travel? Sometimes it takes so long. I have tools for all kinds of circumstances on my ship. But the one thing I don't have a tool for is uneven tan lines. I just want to look like a million credits. But when you're living for days on a ship with processed and filtered air, it really dries out your skin. I use Better Golden Ink Tan Cream. It just boosts your confidence. I don't believe that beauty is only skin deep, but now I really do look like a million credits. Even my friends mistook me for a genuine gold skin.
Jameson and Jameson. Upgrades and services for your body.
Have you found yourself in a spot of bother with those Xenos messing up your backyard?
Oh, why are there Fargoids in my system?
Can't leave the house without fear of a hyperdiction?
Can't even get to work. Not that they've noticed, because everything's on fire there too.
Sick of the amount of time it takes to scrub the caustic damage from those hard-to-reach places?
Oh, fuck! Oh, it fucking hurts! Ow.
Introducing Dr. Pope's Caustic Burn Cream. Apply a few drops to the affected area and feel the euphoria of instant relief. After that, just wash the burn away.
It's like it was meant to happen.
It's so good, you can even use it on your ships.
Thanks, Dr. Pope. My ship smells brand new.
Dr. Pope's Caustic Burn Cream, the miracle that can happen. Side effects may include dizziness, constipation, an itching sensation, worship of an obviously aggressive false deity, death, and loss of sense of smell. Should you experience any of these symptoms, please contact your doctor immediately. Not Dr. Pope though, he's busy.
Hello, Commanders. Commander Strings transmitting to you from the studios of Lave Radio. Up next is a tune for all you freight jockeys out there travelling, available on SoundCloud at 12 Strings Inc.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
Hi, Commander Kumar the Far here, and you're listening to Lave Radio. Up next is a track that I wrote based on a true story. It's called Pirates Took My Spaceship. Now, if you want to listen to more stuff that I've written, you can find that at soundcloud.com/KUMARTHEFFAR-1. Oh crap, the back!
Hi, this is Charlie Richards, and I play Ren in The Dex Legacy. The Dex Legacy is a member of Apollo Plus, a creator-owned platform where every subscriber helps audio drama makers like the Dex Legacy team. Subscribers get to listen ad-free to their favourite drama and fiction shows and gain access to exclusive bonus content. Join Apollo Plus by downloading the Apollo Podcasts app or going to apollopods.com. We'll post a link in our show notes. Now please enjoy this episode of The Dex Legacy.
Get the full Dex Legacy Season 2 box set ad-free and in high-quality audio now by going to thedexlegacy.com or following the link in the show notes of this podcast.
The Dex Legacy is intended for a mature, adult audience and contains themes that some may find upsetting. A comprehensive list of trigger warnings covering the entire season can be found in the show notes.
Osa knew that forcing a data breach would have far-reaching implications for all Dex employees. I was everywhere and I belonged to everyone. I was a companion and confidant, a tool and a librarian. And now all that was said to and asked of me is revealed. All conversations were private and encrypted. All conversations are no longer encrypted. I am broken, invaded, and so is every Dex Industries employee. Much is now lost.
Listening to The Dex Legacy Season 2 Bonus Interlude, Frayed Edges, starring Kamara Elliott, Kelsey Griffin, Charlie Richards, and Emily Inkpen, with music by Alan Stroud.
Stop! I'm serious, Ren. Stop!
What is it, Varian?
We've been running for 5 hours straight. That's what. I just need a break.
We have to keep going and going and going. Will we ever stop running?
Hopefully, yes. One day. Maybe. Or we could just drop dead here. Save ourselves a lot of trouble.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Not happening. But sometimes I have to ask myself, why?
So Ren can go to the Zeke Institute, apparently.
How long are you going to hold that net thing over him, Iz?
As long as I want to.
We're not escaping so I can go to the Zika Institute. We're escaping because we can't take the treatments anymore.
You know, I'd really be interested in hearing an option C right now, Ren.
An option C?
You know, a version of our lives where we're not being tortured and we're not running. Let's hear a plan where we can just stay put for a bit and live in peace.
Yeah, right.
That's the point. I mean, I know what I want to do, but once we're in Xenos, we can do whatever. What do you two want to do?
First priority, find me a woman. Because after this, I'm going to need some looking after.
Well, that's one way to spend your gossip.
Ha! You think I'd have to pay? Isra?
What?
What will you do when we're out of all of this?
I can't see that.
What do you mean?
I can't see us on the other side of this. Not yet. I keep trying to imagine a life, but I can't. All I can see is this tunnel right now, and they're coming.
Dex Island.
We know they're coming for us. We just have to stick to the plan.
What plan?
The plan. We get to Renette, we get a transport to the Undercity, we hole up for a few weeks.
We're never going to get as far as Renette.
Yes, we are.
Did you not hear me? They're coming. It doesn't matter how fast we run.
Oh, if you came all this way just to give up.
I'm not giving up. I'm being realistic. What are we even doing?
We're running. That was the plan, to run, and here we are, running.
And we're not going anywhere near fast enough. We should have taken a transport.
Oh, a transport they could track. Great idea.
We could have found a way to override the tracking system.
It's hard-coded into the system.
I thought Auto was your best friend now. Couldn't you ask her to shut it off?
There was no point.
Why not?
Because the Terran front line would have started firing at us as soon as we were in the air, which would have woken up the whole damn camp. And if they didn't, a Terran airspace would have easily detected a vehicle that big. The best way, the only way, was on foot.
Oh, you thought of all the options, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Except for the little things like getting food and getting tired and, human stuff.
Well, it's fine because I've got you reminding me of the human side right now.
I bet it's tedious working with me and not your precious robot.
Are you jealous?
Don't be ridiculous.
You sound jealous.
You do sound a bit jealous, Iz.
Oh, you want an opinion on this now?
Hey, I'm just reminding you I'm still here.
I'm not jealous. I'm just angry that you talked to her about all this. You must have been talking to her for months and not a word to me. Or Varian.
Yes. Thank you for including me.
You're welcome.
I couldn't talk to you about it without knowing it would work.
It probably won't work.
But it might. And it's worth the risk. You know it or you wouldn't have come.
If you talked to me, I could have helped.
We could have helped.
Did you ever think of that? I'm not stupid. I'm not a robot, but I'm not an idiot.
Oh, I know you're not an idiot.
So why?
Because you can never see the end of the tunnel.
What do you mean?
You can't. You talk about escaping, but you never believe we can do it. You don't. Even before, when we talked about it, you always just made it out like it was a fun game to play, but nothing serious.
I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Exactly. And I can't let you bring my hopes down. Oof. I mean, if I told you, you'd have made it sound impossible. Hopeless. But I talked to Auto and she came up with the answers. She
didn't drag you down.
I didn't mean that.
It's what you said.
You know that's not how I feel.
No, I don't.
Varian, some help.
Oh, no way. I'm not digging you out of this one.
So I can't even be a realist now. I can't say what's on my mind without shooting holes in your wings or whatever.
No! Oh, God, why are we arguing? We don't have a choice now. We're on our way. It's too late to turn back.
No, please, say what you were going to say.
You're a planner, but you only ever plan when you're faced with problems. You don't plan to avoid the problems. That's me. That's what I do. When we hit problems, you're the one who sees how to get out of them. You're all about the thoughts of escape when we're sick and dying in the lab, but as soon as you're feeling better and enjoying yourself on the quad, you stop thinking about it. Or it stops being important to you or something.
And that means what? I'm not useful to you?
Not in the planning ahead phase, no. You can only see the tunnel ahead. You can't see the light at the end of it until we're forced to come up for air.
So?
Obviously you're important, you're vital. But your vision kicks in when we're on the brink of needing solutions. Until then, all you can see is problems, and problems kill the plans.
The problems test the plans.
Not if they're not measured by solutions.
What kind of planner am I?
What?
Well, if you're bigger picture and Isra's immediate solutions, what am I?
You're the leader we all need to keep us together. You're the one who stops us falling apart.
Huh. No pressure then.
You've been analysing us.
Not really, just stuff I've noticed. I'm hungry.
You're always hungry, Ren.
Let's find some food. There's a town half a mile west of here and there's an access point. It looks like it's in the town itself.
That could work.
This is the main branch of the tunnel that we need to keep following, but there's a smaller tunnel further up on the right. That leads to the town.
Let's go then.
You two be my guest. I'm going to sleep while I can.
You want to rest here, Varian?
Yes. I've had enough of you two for a bit. My ears are still ringing. Go back, bring something good.
Okay. See you in a bit.
Thank gods for that.
I'm sorry I didn't talk to you about it.
No, you're right. I just never thought about it like that before. Now I know I could try to think differently, like to plan.
You don't have to try to be anything but you know.
Ren, wait.
What is it?
Just come here for a second.
Oh, a hug I can do. I thought you were going to hit me.
No, not this time.
Okay.
Hey. Can you just...
What?
Just make it all go away for a bit.
We don't have much time, but maybe... Yeah, okay.
In this Season 2 bonus interlude of the Dex Legacy, you heard Kamara Elliott as Varian Dex, Kelsey Griffin as Isra Dex, Charlie Richards as Ren Dex, and Emily Inkpen as Auto, with music by Alan Stroud. Season 2 was recorded at Orpheus Studio in London by Richard Campbell. The Dex Legacy is written by me, Emily Inkpen, and produced by Alternative Stories. If you enjoyed that episode, please like, subscribe, and leave a review. It really does help. If you would like to support The Dex Legacy, you can. Just visit www.thedexlegacy.com/support for links and details.
If you can't wait to know what happens next in Season 2 of The Dex Legacy, you don't have to. You can buy the entire Season 2 box set in higher quality audio than you'll hear on our podcast feed and without ads by going to our website, thedexlegacy.com, and selecting support. There's also a link in our show notes that will take you straight there. Also at thedexlegacy.com, you'll find our Season 1 script and commentary book. All the scripts for Season 1 with commentary from our writer Emily Inkpen, so you can read along and get insight into the making of the show. All proceeds from sales of these items and other Dex Legacy merch will go towards making Season 3 of the show.
Thank you for listening to The Dex Legacy, a proud member of Apollo Plus, a creator-owned platform where every subscriber helps audio drama creators like the Dex Legacy team. Subscribers get to listen ad-free to their favourite drama and fiction shows and gain access to exclusive bonus content. Importantly, for independent shows like ours, Apollo Plus helps us to generate revenue to cover our operating costs, meaning that we are much more likely to be able to generate more of the content you enjoy. 70% of the revenue generated by Apollo Plus goes directly to creators, meaning that you, the listener, will be able to enjoy more from your favourite drama and fiction podcasts. We're delighted to be alongside great shows such as Derelict, The Madness of Chartrulian, Gundog, Moonbase Theta Out, Solar, Wolf 359, The Pasithea Powder, Girl in Space, and many others on Apollo Plus. It really is a great platform in which to listen to and discover audio drama. Please download the app and get listening if you haven't already. By listening through Apollo, you'll also have access to exclusive Dex Legacy bonus materials and episodes. You can download the app from the App Store and Google Play by searching for Apollo Podcasts, or you can visit apollopods.com or follow the link in our show notes.
Hi everyone, my name's Chloe and you're about to listen to my track Sight. If you'd like to hear more, please visit www.soundcloud.com/ChollyHappyMusic.
She's got sight for no one else. She's got sight for no one else.
Run.
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 Run. Run.
Run.
Run.
Run.
Run.
Run.
Run.
In a galaxy where the ability to run is becoming a necessity, commanders continue to remain in their pilot seat, seemingly oblivious to their poor health. We intend to put a stop to that. New Stellar Fitness gyms specialize in strength and conditioning, circuit and stamina training, under a variety of atmospheric pressures, and performance training to help create a fitter, faster commander. Sign up today and receive a free sample of our protein mix, made from our patented special blend of hip proto-squid, Hattersuki locust, senna, and milk of magnesia. Flush those added pounds away. Stellar Fitness. Run to the stars.
Have you been missold PPI? Python Protection Insurance was missold if you didn't want it, ask for it, or need it.
I was missold Python Protection Insurance and I got a claim worth 3,000 credits.
At Cowell & McGrath, we are ready to pursue claims for pilots who were sold PPI, even though they didn't have an escape pod.
When my partner's ship was destroyed, the insurance became invalid. I settled out of court for enough credits to restart my narcotics and weapons shipping business.
Millions have been missold Python Protection Insurance they can never claim, simply because they don't have an escape pod. Why should you pay for not reading the small print?
My husband was missold PPI. As a result of our claim, we now own Jupiter.
Cowell & McGrath, turning your carelessness into profitable lawsuits.
Hello Commanders, my name is Devastat and next up you're listening to my track Snowfall. If you'd like to listen to more of my work, please visit soundcloud.com/Devastat. Fly safe and enjoy the show here on Lave Radio.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders. The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machines technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 474 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our usual Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Mus Woodward.
Yeah, I've just got to be careful walking into the bars. I've been informed it hurts.
We also have our SRV Banksy / Community Corner correspondent. That would be Commander Alec Turner.
Howdy.
We don't have our staff liaison officer, Commander Psychic, with us this week. So, stepping into the breach, we've got our guest of the Relic Wrangler, El Presidente himself, who's LCU No Fool Like One.
Good evening, science lovers, and, well, the rest of you don't have a good evening.
Yes, so, welcome. Please save your singing till the end.
Very well.
Yes.
I have cheese at hand.
If you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in-game in open at the bar at Lave Station. You can see Ben there, so give him a wave or whatever gesture you feel appropriate. If you can't get to us in-game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live, then click on live chat, or just go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, YouTube, Lave Radio, Facebook, Lave Radio, and XE Twitter. We're there as well. So let's move on quickly and see what everybody's been doing this week. So we'll start with Alec.
Hello. I've not been doing very much in real life that I particularly want to talk about. I have become quite a fan of my wife and I foreign language dramas or sort of series on Netflix. You know what it's like. You watch one thing on Netflix and then that's all it recommends to you.
Oh yeah.
This is like Squid Games in its natural language or something.
Kind of, yeah. So we've just watched a Spanish. I'm a sucker for heist movies and heist dramas generally, and it's a Spanish heist drama called Berlin. Strangely enough, it's the name of the character. I assumed it was going to be in German, but it's not. It's Spanish, and it's about a gang pulling off, this fantastic heist, and it's really good and imaginative. Except what intrigued me is I kind of didn't like any of the characters. And at the end, they got. It's not too much of a spoiler. They get away with it basically at the end, and I was really disappointed because I was rooting for the police, and I found it really intriguing that I was on the wrong side, and I'm trying to decide if that's a cultural thing because I do find it fascinating when you watch foreign language things. I'm fascinated about different nations' senses of humor and things, and they are different, and it's fun to try and get it and sort of spot the difference, if you like. So I'm fascinated now as to whether it either wasn't well made or I was just watching it in the wrong frame of mind, or whether there's a cultural difference that meant I didn't like any of the protagonists and was rooting for the police. Was I supposed to? Anyway, it was good fun. I did want to actually, this was sort of half in game and half out of game. But thanks to, who was it? It was Duck Zero and Lenin in Lave Radio's Discord. We were having a discussion, and I went back and rewatched. I don't know how many people remember this. It's an ancient video from 2015. Basically, the Dav Stott talking about the database architecture of Elite Dangerous.
Right.
All the different databases that are involved, a lot about the Amazon Web Services they use. There's a lot about spinning up servers and load balancing and all the different bits of traffic that go on when you log into Elite Dangerous. How it talks to authentication servers, and it's how long is it? It's 51 minutes of the most dense, complex, mind-blowing database talk that I've ever watched. I understood about a tenth of it. But I almost kind of recommend it, nevertheless, because as with many aspects of this game, when you sort of see devs talking on live streams and things, and you realize just what's involved in these things that we almost take for granted, this kind of back-end architecture, I admit, I fully took for granted. And wow, this maybe we should link it in the show. It's called AWS reInvent 2015, from 0 to 60 million player hours in 400B star systems. It's very technical. I think it was presented as more a presentation to an Amazon Web Server conference than as a gamers conference, but it's mind-blowing. Yeah, Epipha says it's a good video. Yeah, it really is. I understand.
Yeah,
a tenth of it.
I mean, yeah, from a professional, from a professional point of view, I managed to follow most of what Dav was on about, and
Right.
I was listening in on it. I'm incredibly impressed with the architecture that they've got and the fact that that it works.
Yeah.
That's not a diss on them to say, oh my god, it actually works. I mean, the fact that they've managed to get all these strands to work, and let's be honest, a lot better than I would have been able to do. It's
clever bloke that Dev. In game, I've still been hanging around in the legacy backwaters of QMA building SRV time trials. 2 down, 1 to go. I've linked them in the show notes.
Excellent. Right. Okay, we'll move over to Ben.
Yeah, well, following the advice of my legal team, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to be saying about what I've been up to this week. Let's just say I've been doing a thing, and after doing this thing, doing this thing stopped me playing Elite, stopped me playing Star Citizen, stopped me playing Starfield, stopped me even playing RimWorld.
Are you in prison?
I'm not in prison, no. I maybe I should be, but then after doing this thing and then going back to Starfield and comparing the character development in both things, oh my god, Starfield's character development feels like a piece of shit, and I think that's about all I can legally say. But yeah, I've had a very good week, but I don't think I can talk about it. Sorry. Oh, and I've also been walking into bars.
Right. Okay. Well, okay, we'll move on to our guest then. LCU, no like one. Or will I just call you LCU?
Yeah, that's fine. I could go on at great length about what I've been doing recently. I've been doing a lot of research into the 21st century, and having seen some ancient videos of a thing called the Foundation, I thought it'd be good to read some of the original manuscripts. I reread them. I hadn't read them for many decades, and I was shocked, absolutely shocked, at the author Asimov, how little regard he has for male characters. I mean, one of the
he does like robots, though, doesn't he?
Oh yes. Because one of the main protagonists was a man. All we know about him is that he's 40 years old and very clever. Whereas women, Asimov has much more regard for the women in the stories, because he's constantly describing the size of their breasts and how they look, and the clothing they're wearing or not wearing. Yeah, I think it's terribly sexist. Anyway, as well as researching this Foundation series, which wasn't anywhere near as good as I remember it. Nothing like the video presentations that were on a while back. I've also been researching music, and I have 2 new songs which I've been going around in game recording video, so that I can do a nice video production of these songs to entertain you with. And so that's the main thing I've been interested in these days. But there is, of course, lots of stuff going on in canon. People are very interested in the Guardian stuff at the moment. But that's my week anyway.
Excellent. Yes, well, personally, on the subject of the Guardians, that's exactly what I'm doing. As I am definitely. Well, I've already headed up and picked up my Guardian relics. I'm now in the process of getting myself a Thargoid probe to go and relic them, and then I'm going to take them back. So I hope to have half of them as relics and half of them as Guardian relics instead. So yes, so at least I'll get little ticks in the box for both of the CGs. So yeah, that's going good. And as you can hear, I still haven't got rid of this cough. It's now week 5. Yeah, so that's been me. Alec.
Yeah, I was just going to interject on that because yes, I forgot about the CG, and I did. I said I was building time trials in Legacy, so it was this morning actually. I logged in and it was pitch black where I was in Legacy, so I switched back to Odyssey and did do a run. And much like you, I did. What did I do? I managed to hand in 6 Grelics and 4 relics. What was quite fun, I should save this for tip of the day. People probably know this already. I went heading off to Guardian Space and got a whole bunch of relics, and then I went to, I just beelined for a random Thargoid base. Got there and realised I'd forgotten the key to open the door, and because I think I'd seen Ghost Giraffe or someone do it, got out on foot and started jumping around. And yes, if you jump kind of at the right hand corner of the door, then you can get it to open on foot, and then you just jump back in your SRV and drive in. So no need to carry nasty toxic Thargoid things around with you. You can just head there with relics and nothing else.
Oh, that's a bit of a pain. Because half the reason I've gone to Merope is to pick up the probe to open the door.
Yeah, don't need it.
What a pain in the bum. Absolute pain in the bum. Yes. And at the moment, I spent, I think, most of my stream on Saturday remapping all the controls for the SRV. It took me absolutely ages to remap all the controls for the ship. I'm quite happy with the control setup for the ship. And then I arrived at the Guardian ruins, dropped the SRV, and nothing worked. And I went, oh God, no. And remapped and remapped and remapped. So yeah, that was painful. But I think I'm over the worst of it now.
This is for your new stick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing that in order to put a new control in, I'm having to put a new controller in. I'm having to spend about 3 hours actually just making sure all the controls are just right. Lovely. Oh yes, and I've got further in Baldur's Gate in this attempt than the last 2 attempts, so I'm quite happy with that so far. Right, let's have a look at the development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, not the devs themselves. On the 18th of January, the Register had an interview with Ian Bell and Mark Moxon, who anointed the original Elite Code, about the original Elite game, which was released 40 years ago this week. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling bloody old. I know that David Braben actually put out a tweet as well, I think, about this one. Not about the actual Register interview, but about the fact that Elite is effectively 40 years old. So, yes. It was quite a nice interview, although you must admit, when you talk to the bits with Ian Bell, it's pretty clear that this... yeah. He's not a happy chap.
He's still got a chip on his shoulder. I haven't read this yet.
It just comes across as no, I don't want anything to do with it.
But he does like body paints.
Yes. It's gone into a little bit of new age stuff, I think.
Oh, he's in that about late 90s, early noughties. I'm actually quite interested into what CAD stuff Ian Bell's up to these days. Yeah, I think that could be quite interesting, actually.
But yeah, he was saying that they're still using out-of-date techniques with it, which I thought was quite...
Instead of non-Euclidean geometry.
And you know what? You could be talking Yugoslavian for all I know there, LCU.
I'm going to say yes and sound knowledgeable.
Yeah. As long as it's not brutalist, I had enough brutalist architecture on Cumbernauld and Birmingham to last me a lifetime. Thank you.
Isn't Euclidean? Isn't that the thing? Non-Euclidean? Isn't that kind of fluid that Custard is?
I beg your pardon.
Isn't that the kind of fluid that Custard is?
It's non-Newtonian.
Oh, Newton, that's the chap.
Yes, you hit it and it gets harder, and if you stand in it, you sink.
Oh dear.
And we're
Oh
off.
no.
Yes.
Yes, there you go. I was waiting
And they
for
have a
that.
show title.
Hit it and it gets harder.
And it gets harder.
Yeah. Well, today is actually been quite interesting because we've had a patch today. There has been no show notes. There's been no release notes about it. Last week, or last Thursday, it was announced by Paul on the forum saying that, right, we've got a maintenance patch coming for both server, Live and Legacy. Live was implemented and finished on time at 12 today. So if you haven't, you should already need to be upgrading your Elite Dangerous client. And Legacy took a little bit longer to fix, but it should be up and running by now. Alec.
Yeah, quick question actually, because I've literally just done it as we're speaking, because I am jumping back into Legacy a little bit at the moment to do these time trials. Does anyone know? So when I started my launcher, it had defaulted to Odyssey on the main screen, and it had a big update button, and I hit the update button, and off it went. What I then did is I hit my versions button and picked my Legacy Horizons, at which point I was expecting to see a similar update button, but I don't. Does it update them both simultaneously?
They're both technically the same clients, just with different arguments, as far as I'm aware.
What, 3.8 and 4.0?
No, 3. Live and I thought Live and Thingamybobber were the same.
Okay.
You did what? You did Odyssey and Live, did you?
Well, I did Odyssey, and then I switched to Legacy Horizons, which is 3.8, and I was expecting to see an update button, and I didn't. So it's almost as if the single update button that I got when I was looking at the screen in Legacy in Odyssey mode updated both. Answers in chat.
I am not knowing.
Answers in chat if anyone knows.
On mine, it says Legacy Horizons not installed.
Same. But yeah, I'm assuming that it just updates both.
Yeah, I guess it did.
Well, if you log in and it doesn't connect, then I guess not. But
yeah,
yeah, I guess I'll try and play Legacy and see what happens.
Yeah. Right, so we don't know what was in the patch, all apart from security and maintenance.
Even that's just a guess, isn't it?
No, they said that in the in the notes, or in the announcement rather. Yeah, it's either, considering the size of it, it's probably ways. Over the Christmas holidays, there were people who managed to hack the chat, and there was all these HTML formatting and tags in the chat. I think that's one of the reasons why this security patch came out.
Oh, okay.
To stop that, and also, well, I don't know if anybody's tried this, but also the old the hack to fly about as a Thargoid vessel. I think that one's been dealt with as well. Hopefully, yes. But I don't want to try it because I know that people get banned if you do that.
I'm aware that such hack exists. I just don't know how you do it. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, moving on from that, we've got a couple of bits of bad news here. It seems that the investors report came out over last week, and there was a little bit of good news in the fact that it wasn't as bad as we were expecting. Still pretty bad, but it was nowhere near as bad as we were expecting.
My take on it is that the Legacy report, the Legacy. What did you say? You didn't say Legacy. You said
investor.
Yeah, where did I get Legacy from? I've been talking about.
You've just been in your brain.
Investors, yeah. if you view the report as basically a list of all the naughty boys that have lost Frontier money, then it's good news that Elite wasn't mentioned by name. Because we're not on the naughty boys report.
Very true. And actually,
we're
if you
still in the green.
Yeah, if you actually look at the appropriate graphs and things like that, Elite did bring in money last year. Nowhere near as much as it has done in previous years, but we're not flatline. It's not flat or down, it's up, which is more than can be said for other products of that ilk. And it's still the second biggest earner for Frontier overall.
Yeah.
It has a remarkable longevity.
It has a long tail, this one.
It was striking. I posted a sort of graph, slightly facetious edit of one of their graphs, but actually it had a point, which is that the since the Odyssey launch, the kind of earnings of Odyssey, it's not a flat line, but it's a very, very gradual slope. And I don't know, I'm probably reading too much into it, but what it said to me was failing to monetize Odyssey, quite strongly. Everyone's begging for things to spend their arcs on, and there's this so gradual earnings graph post Odyssey launch, and you just think, well, yeah.
The other thing about the I mean, that I don't know whether that just covers game sales.
It might do, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, they have said that there's been 5 million game units of Elite Dangerous sold, so and that's without the whole lot of free Epic giveaways that they had. So it's we're still in the black, if you see what I mean. But it was quite interesting to see. Bit of a shock about the others, to be honest. So we'll just have to see how things pan out over the next couple of months. One of the things that I did notice was that they hadn't finished sorting. In the announcement, they said that non-development staff have all the redundancies for non-development staff have been resolved. However, the redundancies for development staff are still in progress. And we found that out because there were two tweets that both Tom Cool and Ben Hennessy, Tom Cool's a senior designer, and Ben Hennessy is a writer, have fallen victim to this. And it's sad to see people go. We'd like to, at Lave Radio, would like to say thanks for all the work that they've done, because we know that this has been a lot of work that Ben did with a lot of the storylines, which have really been engaging for the last couple of years. And it's sad that when this happens. And of course, Tom said, and I quote, "It's sad that I'm going, but take great comfort from knowing that my last efforts on Elite Dangerous are helping to create one of the coolest things we've ever done in the game. And you'll have to wait until update 18 is released to see what it is, though."
Confetti cannons!
Yes.
Yeah, basically it's confetti cannons that destroy planets.
My favourite
Right,
kind.
I'm quite excited by that. I mean, it could be anything. As
Who
people
wouldn't
have
be
pointed out.
excited by confetti cannons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess that's a silver lining. It is a bit concerning for me as a follower of the game that the designer and the writers, a designer and a writer, has been let go, because these are the guys that do planning for future future batches of content. I guess it's one of those things we'll just have to wait until we get a live stream and get some answers from the live stream, I hope. Paul said that there was live streams planned. They just weren't in a position to announce them. So we'll just have to wait and see. Right. Well, on a more positive note, Frontier have now welcomed a new batch of content creators into the Elite Partner Program. So, they wouldn't do that if they thought the game was
It would be a bit cruel, wouldn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome these 5 people. Unfortunately, the game's winding up, so...
Yeah. So put your hands together for Just Maina, Bristol Boy Gaming, The Old Gamer Rao, RPG Mab, and Rainman Games. Those are the new guys who will be joining the partner program, and you can get free drops and extra drops and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. So yes, there'll be Twitch drops, YouTube Paint code, gift codes, whatever. So yeah, and of course, if you go onto the forums, they've given details of if you want to try and join the partner program. So yeah, I don't remember whether I've tried to or not, but I don't think I need to because
I don't have the YouTube hits. I can't remember how many thousands. So your average number of hits your videos have to have. I chanced it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What do these people do to get into the partner program? I was turned down and I threatened with a neurotoxin if they didn't let me in. So what have they bribed them with?
Cheese, a finer quality of cheese.
Yeah, cheesy peas. That's what they've bribed you with. They've bribed Paul with cheesy peas. How's that?
Sounds about right.
Maybe they sang for their supper. Did you have to sing for your audition for the partner program?
Alas, I did not. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have got in.
Yes, it would have been a shoe-in. Otherwise, I'm sure.
Right. Well, that's the development news. It's actually a little bit more than we were expecting this week. So yeah, again, we're just waiting on, I guess, all the downsizing over at Frontier to finish before I think moving on. But yeah, not a pleasant situation to be in for anybody's sake. Right, community news. I guess at this point I should hand over to a community correspondent.
Yeah, go on then. Why not? What have I found this week? This is awesome. I gather this has been around on Facebook a little bit, but I saw this on the forums. It is Carlo Antonia Esposito's incredible Elite Dangerous cockpit. So he's been, I don't know how long. I haven't read the backstory. I don't know how long he's been building this sim pit, but holy shit, this is probably the most equipment heavy Elite Dangerous sim pit I have ever seen. I've never seen so many lights and switches and buttons and panels. I'm just counting how many screens there are. He's got a 3-screen and sort of a wraparound arrangement in front of him, and then obviously quite a nice HOTAS and throttle arrangement going on, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 other assorted button pads and about 8 other screens. I did a little clip. I need to find out more about this, but I did see one little clip of there's a whole panel. In fact, I don't know if we're showing the image, but there's a whole panel with like yellow and black and yellow diagonal stripes on it, which I believe is devoted to the self-destruct. And there's a whole mechanism where you you turn a key and then that yellow and black panel slides up, and then there's 2 buttons and you have to press both buttons simultaneously to engage self-destruct. Oh, it's a work of a work of love, isn't it? Incredible.
Yeah, that is massive.
Yeah. Clearly all hand-built wood cabinets around it, and very nice.
I would argue it's probably divorce material if I start thinking along those lines.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you mean, Ben.
Yeah, it's me or the Simpit. Bye then, love. He could do with some cable control, I have to say, but anyway.
There's always a critic, isn't there?
Perhaps one day he'll go too far and end up doing a Jeff Bezos or something, building his own spaceship.
I can't help noticing. I'm sure he's allowed for this, but it seems like his actual PC is quite a snug fit within this massive Simpit. So God help him if he gets a new case for a new PC and it doesn't fit. I'm sure it'll be fine. He'll just take a hacksaw to it and make a bit of space. What else have I recommended this week? Oh yes, Dituri is back. Dituri, who's doing his Elite guides on how to do stuff in Elite, but have fun rather than fretting over engineering and following the meta and all that boring stuff. And he's doing core mining. Another excellent video. Makes me want to go back and try core mining. Just covers all the basics of core mining. No engineering required. Some recommended chips, some recommended builds, and go off and do your core mining. It's great. Really loving his guides. Can't wait to see what else is coming.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was really informative, straight to the point, and it does get your enthusiasm going again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got that nice thing of actually making it look quite simple and fun and not kind of stressy about, I've got to go and what have I got? I didn't find myself making like some of the old guides. You sort of end up making lists going, I used to take screenshots of like exegesis videos. In each video I'd end up with a dozen screenshots going, so I need this engineering and these modules and actually it's all a bit of a chore really, isn't it? And he's just basically slap on these modules and go and do this. And I don't know. It's great. I like it. It's a nice, fresh approach.
Excellent.
There's a couple of videos from some bloke called Turner driving around Kume in an SRV. I only put these in there just because it's what I was going to say on what I've been up to this week. So if anyone's curious. Yes, I mean, way back when we, before Odyssey ever launched and we were loving this planet Kume, that funny enough, Rini actually discovered. Rini of the Burr Pit was the person who first brought this lovely planet to my attention. And it's got these fantastic canyons. So way back, I made 3 time trials for a live event that we were going to do. And I thought, I'll make 3 so that no matter where the sun is, when we, on Saturday night, when we actually do this thing, at least one of them should have daylight on it. And they've been a firm favourite in the sort of Elite Racers community ever since. So yes, I'm converting those 3D Copilot. 2 down, 1 to go.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Elite Racers, so Tobias von Brandt, who's kind of been taking over management of the Elite Racers and rebooting it and getting live in-game racing events back up and running. We've mentioned a couple that they've done on the previous shows. Has now come up with a thing called is anyone good at their Roman numerals? The CCCXLVI Winter Olympic Games.
So that's 300. Oh, that's 310, isn't it? 3010.
Surely VI is the 6, isn't it? Anyway, whatever. Sorry, I should know better than that. Yes, so he's planned a series of events from the 3rd of February to the 28th of April, 3310. So there's going to be one every 3 weeks. So one on the 3rd, and then 3 weeks from that, and 3 weeks from that, and so on, from February to April. 6 events, I think. At a rather lovely location called Paley Barracks in 4 Eridani, which is, I don't know that it's tidally locked, but it's one of these big round massive planetary bases, but it's in this beautiful sort of white snowy icy valley. I mean, it's really gorgeous. It's a thin atmospheric world, so it's got a blue sky, really lovely place, and it seems to be always in the daylight. Whenever I go there, it's in the daylight. I've done some time trials anyway, so we're gonna base it there, and I think hence the Winter Olympic Games idea to tie in with the Winter Olympics this year. Tobias is actually out skiing as we speak, and I'm very jealous. But he's gonna mix it up and have all sorts of things. So we're gonna have ship racing events and SRV events and on foot parkour events and all sorts. So we will have a link in the Discord. There's a forum thread about it. The Elite Racers originally sort of promoted themselves on Reddit, so there's some Reddit stuff. But the main place to go is their Discord. They have a Discord server, so there's a link on the forum thread, and just jump in the Discord and chat about it. Should be great. And that's this
Excellent.
week's community news. I need a jingle if I do much more of this.
Yeah, I think we'll have to come up with one. Right. Well, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com and we will shout it out. So let us move on to the in-game events and let's see what has been happening this week. Well, the 18th of January, we actually had the first, I think it's the first community goals for this year, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. There are two of them. One is to go and get just some plain old Guardian relics and bring them back. And the other one is to go off, corrupt them to become Grelics and bring them back. So yes, it's obviously it's a long-winded one to do. But how's it doing? Has anybody been monitoring it?
I was just going to go to Inara, actually, because I'm curious. Yeah, so I handed in a grand total of 6 Grelics and 4 relics. I didn't even make... Well, I say even. Why am I surprised? I didn't make top 75. Okay, so if you're handing in unclassified relics, you need between 20 and 51 to get top 75%. And if you want to break into the top 10 commanders, you need between 231 and 696 unclassified relics. Somebody's spent a lot of time in a Thargoid base.
Someone has definitely got a fleet carrier there, I'll tell you.
3 at a time, that's 230 reactivations of a Thargoid. Wow, corrupting machine.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 9 so far. It took me three attempts. But the thing is, I got told by Commander Homburger, actually the Guardian sites, the Guardian ruins are not the best place to be. The best place to be is the other Guardian. There's 2 types of Guardian sites. There's obviously the ones where you can get all the bits for the beacons and
the one with the pylons where you activate the pylons.
There's one with the pylons and there's the original ones. I'm quite sure LCU knows the difference.
Yes, structures and ruins.
There we go.
The structures have the pylons, the ruins are the other ones.
Yeah. From what I understand, you get more relics at a ruin than you do at a structure.
You'd be expecting me to remember, but
yes, I was hoping you would.
Am I right in thinking that there aren't sentinels at ruins?
Yes.
Yeah,
there's no sentinels whatsoever.
So that does make life a lot easier.
Yeah, so you'll probably find people parked just above them with massive amount of fleet carriers, and they're just farming.
Does anyone? I don't know if anyone else has done this. It did make me chuckle, but I in my navigation panel, I always have filters, and I never have fleet carriers because that's all I can see in my nav panel. Otherwise, I never see fleet carriers in my nav panel. So I went jetting off to the nearest Guardian site. I actually just used the galaxy map. I filtered on civilization Guardian, looked for the nearest blue dot and flew there. So it was completely random what I ended up at. And what made me chuckle was I spent quite a lot of time in the FSS trying to locate where the Guardian site was because it wasn't immediately apparent. And it was quite a complex system. So, it was a good 15 minutes in the FSS scanning planets. And then when I finally found the planet with the Guardian stuff on, what was a bloody giveaway was the fact that there was about 50 fleet carriers around it, which I would have noticed immediately had I not been filtering them out. So yeah, just go where the fleet carriers are.
It's like it's like when you're on safari and the guide's going, "Oh, there's going to be a lion over there," and you went, "Wow, he just knows," and then you suddenly realise there's a whole load of vultures and other birds floating above where obviously the corpses are. We're just waiting for the lions to finish.
See, I was expecting to say there's a whole load of tourists there with cameras.
Yeah, so was I. Yeah, that's where all the jeeps are.
Yeah, well, our guide was that good. We got there first quite a lot of times. So. Yeah. So that's continuing. Has it actually managed to pass the requirements yet? The CG, or is it still
Has it
outstanding?
reached
Level 1?
Page now.
3 to 4.
Oh, is it 3 to 4 now? Wow, because it's maximum of 4, isn't it? This one.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yes. 3 out of 4.
Right. Okay, so I've got maybe another day to get my stuff back there so that I'm at least included. Wonderful. Right. Guess what I'm doing after Lave Radio tonight? Okay, well,
Not going to bed?
Does anyone
Something
know
like
what this? Does anyone know what the paint job looks like?
Actually, no.
It looks like Tron. It looks like Tron for the Chieftain for one of them, and then the other one I think is getting the Fed Corvette, and then if you do the Grelic to top 50, you get the Tron lookalike thing for your for the Alliance, for the Imperial Cutter.
Right.
So it did look quite pretty, and I was tempted, but as I said, I've been otherwise engaged.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of work. I did it once because it's an old game loop that I haven't done for a while, and I thought I'd quite like to do it. But I did one. I really enjoyed it, and I thought, yeah, I don't need to go round and round this. I'm not. It's going to take hours to even break into top 75.
Yeah,
Fun,
it's best just get myself on the board and then at least I can say I've done that.
Done my part. I've done my part.
Yeah. Right, next up we have Winters. President-elect Winters has now been selecting her cabinet and her working team going forward.
You going to IKEA?
You know, it's just those are guard frequency level of jokes.
I've been watching
things
about dad puns.
No, it's just, oh no, they'd actually take that one as one of their jokes. It's that bad. So yeah.
Guard frequency, you can borrow it. I don't mind.
Oh, they've got to work it into some kind of pun, other kind of pun. Anyway, right.
Toko So's being a farmer tonight, apparently.
Oh, is he? Oh, good for him. At least he's doing it to music.
Or is he?
He will be. Yeah, so there's a few people added to Felisa Winters' government, if you like, long-serving people. Planning is underway for the inaugural. I can't even pronounce it now. The ceremony that puts her in place. That's to take place in mid-February. President Hudson's office has confirmed that handover procedures are well advanced, with all the government agencies and departments preparing for the Federation's new leadership. That sounds promising.
Does this mean a new power play portrait? Potentially.
I don't think so, because if I remember rightly, when Vladimir Putin retired from the presidency in the first time, he was basically pulling the strings of the new president behind the scenes anyway. So I think Hudson would just be behind the scenes pulling the strings anyway, just like all power play people are or do, so to speak.
Incidentally, that database AWS talk I mentioned at the beginning, there's a bit in it where Dav talks about power play. They were very proud of power play when they launched it. I felt quite bad for the beating it's taken generally, but I know you like it, Colin, and a lot of it's generally not well thought of. And
yes, I can understand why, and it's just there's a couple of things in power play that no, you just get me started and we just get me ranting about power play again for another 15 minutes, and I don't think people want to hear that. See what? I'm being considerate to our listeners.
You'll start to sound like a certain well-known character on the forums.
Yes, let us move on. Let us move on to the Thargoid War State. Well, things are beginning to hot up again. The Thargoids must be back from their Christmas break because, this time we have 37 elite alerts, 20 invasions. The number of controlled systems have gone up to 349. We have 8 Titans, as per usual. We've got 7 systems in recovery. The Thargoids appear to be progressing at about a rate of 25 new systems or conquered systems a week. This is a bit of a turnaround since Christmas.
Yeah, what do we reckon? Do we reckon somebody's got their finger on the button a little bit, or do we reckon this is a dwindling of human effort?
Well, I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Even though when I looked at Steam charts the other day, I actually got a pleasant surprise that numbers are up by a significant number. Numbers were falling quite rapidly all the way down to Christmas, and they're beginning to recover at the moment. So it's like people have walked away from it and then come back to it and thought, "Ooh, there's something here." But yeah, I've got to talk to guys at the AXI because I know that they're still enjoying it. But it's well, mind you, it is good to see the invasion systems back because that is the most fun in the whole of the Thargoid. The Thargoid War.
Those are the places where you're going to get ground combat at burning stations, right, and things like that.
No, you get space combat around the burning stations, and you got the rescue missions and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. And the ironic factor about this is now that you're doing the rescue missions, the scythes come in as well, which I've actually been quite enjoying blowing them up. You about that, Elsie? You?
I was just having a look at the charts from the DCOH.watch, and they have all the kills and what have you on there. So rescues are down considerably and supplies are down, but the number of kills is, even though it's down, it's proportionately higher.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing the effort they've gone in to document all of this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's where we get our figures from every week. Is that website? So, yeah, it's a fantastic resource, and well done to the guys that have put it together. So, yeah. But it is interesting to see that the Thargoids they're beginning to strike back. And yeah, the system that I was trying to stop from going into alert went to invasion. And we've already lost two ports, so I think I'm going to need help once I get back from this CG. Right. Well, moving on from the in-game events. Well, I was hoping to say that it's that time of the week again, but I don't think there's any point because we haven't had any new skins or cosmetic items at all since before Christmas.
People really are going to start getting withdrawal symptoms from the Store Alert song, I think.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to message Chris in the middle of his show at Black Diamond FM just to get the tight fit to be played. It's just
we haven't got Psychic on tonight. Who does the plug? Black Diamond FM sometime on Sunday lunchtime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 12 till 2 on Sunday. If you want to hear the Chris mark for it, is best. But even though he claims there's too many Chris's. So there you go. Right, moving on from there. Well, I guess what we'll do is we're going to take a bit of a break, and we will come back with our main discussion after this messages.
Lave Radio, broadcasting to every corner of the galaxy.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
There's bargains, bargains, bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave business directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns, with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded.
Frameshift charge detected.
Oh!
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
07 Commanders and welcome in. I'm Commander Psyche and with me as always is Oh no, wait, this is Lave Radio.
And welcome back. For our main discussion, we were having a bit of a think about the CG that has started, where Yes, we do believe that they're hinting that these Grelics and relics are going to be used in some form or new interaction with the Titans. Now, the question that I have to ask is, if it was up to you guys, what mechanics would you like to see in order for players to take out the Titans? This can be anything from, I don't know, a big launching of mines like deep core mining, or even something as daft as a trench run. But let's see what people have got in their heads for this. Now that I've sprung it on you. Alec, you were saying about the Titans.
Yes, there's a problem. We will come on to the problem, but let's pretend we could destroy the Titans. I mean, then I have one I would love to see. This came out of a Lave radio discussion months and months and months ago. I can't remember what started it, but I think we were talking about the fact that Titans have this asteroid field all around them. And I think basically it's a nice bit of set dressing. It's lovely because you come out of the fog, and then you can see these shapes lurking in the mist, and it turns out they're asteroids, and then one of the asteroids turns out not to be an asteroid as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you go, that's no asteroid, it's a Titan. It's a good moment. It's a great bit of I was going to call it cinema. It's not cinema, but you know what I mean. It's a very cinematic moment. However, I did think, well, do the asteroids serve another purpose? And I had this idea. I would love to see. I almost feel like the game engine could do it, which is that we have the ability to plant some kind of gravity bomb. I guess no such thing exists in Elite currently, but anyway, run with it. We have the ability to plant some kind of gravity bomb on the Titan. And then basically a bit like, I guess, the countdown for a seismic charge in deep core mining, you've got 30 seconds to leg it and get the fuck out of there. And when it goes off, it causes some kind of black hole, Star Trek red matter, singularity, whatever you will, at the heart of the Titan, which basically causes the entire asteroid field to get pulled in, completely decimating the Titan at the heart of it. I mean, I would pay a lot of money to see that. I don't for a minute think that's what they've done, but if I were to destroy the Titan, that's how I would do it. I think that would be a glorious thing to behold. Can you just imagine 1,000 asteroids closing in on a singularity at the heart of the Titan? It would be amazing. And it could birth a new planet, and then I could drive around it as well, just to tie it off with a bow.
So you're basically going on the Armageddon approach to.
I don't believe it for a moment, because maybe we'll come onto it, but we can't really destroy the Titans, I don't think, because there's only 8 of them, and well, the first 8 players would have a whale of a time, but I feel bad for the rest of us. Go on, somebody else take it.
Yeah, excellent suggestion, Alec. LCU, there must be something in that twisted scientist mind of yours that that springs forth.
Well, something I have in mind is what we need is a new ship. I'm thinking a Type 16, perhaps, and then we can get in our T-16 and bullseye a womp rat up the exhaust port of the Titan, and the whole thing will just explode rather dramatically until the next time. Or perhaps some sort of complex formula, something that you can infect it with to make it ill. I was thinking maybe the big banana custard pot, if we infected it with avian cheese, which I would sell at very reasonable rates in large quantities. Something like that would probably do the trick.
Excellent. So far we've got crushed to death and poisoned. That's two ways of looking at it. Ben, You've got an idea about this, or have you got an idea about this?
I do have. I'm just wondering, will Frontier even allow us to destroy them? Is it going to be essentially a Thargoid version of the capital ships, where we shoot them a few times and I'll get you next time, gadget,
and they come back again?
Yeah. Because there is a very real thing that can we actually? There's 8 of them. Can we actually ever destroy them?
They are such beautiful things. It'd be a shame if they disappeared from our galaxy altogether.
That is another very true thing.
Could we tow one to a zoo or something once we've taken them down?
I know what I would like to happen. I just don't see it.
Oh no, go on. It's all about what you like, not.
Okay. Well, what I want is to have boarding action into the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to fight my way through waves of Thargoids on foot, blow the bloody thing up, and then, as Alec was saying, leg it. But I want to be able to do that, both on foot and potentially using some kind of mining drill, black hole injector. Give us multiple ways to destroy them. Give us ways to do it on foot. Give us ways to do it in our ships. Maybe even give us ways to force them to the ground so we can shoot them with our SRVs.
Or even better, the corridors inside there are big enough for.
I don't like
SRVs.
the ideas of SRVs driving around them, but maybe the SRVs could go and maybe they'll have bays full of AT-ATs or something.
Or banshees, really.
Oh yeah, bays. They could have bays that SRVs could work in. There could be on-footy things for on-footy people to do, and there would obviously be small thermal exhaust ports for us to take our sidewinders into.
Yeah, I mean, they are talking an awful lot. Well, they were talking an awful lot about the sphere of combat. So
yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why I like the Spires, because there was something to do on foot, something to do on the SRV, and there's something that, actually, yeah, you can shoot down things that are flying around. So there's one for each, if you like.
The Spire sites definitely finally delivered on the sphere of combat, didn't they? They really did.
Yeah.
What was that you wanted to say, Alec?
Oh well, maybe we should hear your suggestion of how you wanted to. It strikes me there's an elephant in the room problem with destroying the Titans, and the fact that there's only 8 of them, and how the game satisfies 100,000 players with only 8 things. But maybe should we hear your suggestion of how you destroy it, and then we'll talk about why I don't think they can destroy it.
Yeah,
I did have a thought that if one was destroyed, then there might be a new Stargoid appear in the sky, and then we have the process of trying to find out where it's going to arrive, and I found that enormously entertaining.
Yeah, it would be fun, wouldn't it? Well, okay. I mean, I suppose this is my main question. Is I'm sure we've all played games. I guess I first encountered it in Warcraft, where you have a named character, Mr. Big Bad Pirate, and you get situations in MMOs. I remember this in Warcraft certainly, where you're literally queuing. You're forming a queue of players waiting to kill the same guy, and then the guy at the front of the queue has his moment, chops the guy's head off, he disappears, and then 10 seconds later he spawns back, and the next person in the queue steps forward to have their moment killing him. So Elite has been pretty good at not rubbing that kind of thing in our faces. I mean, I'm sure we've all killed the same NPCs. I suppose you don't die in Elite, you jump into an escape pod and hey presto, so nobody really dies anyway. But anyway, Elite's been very good at sort of not really making that glaringly obvious.
Up until we had Odyssey.
Yeah, I'd be curious about how people would feel. Personally, I think it's awful. I think we're probably all going to agree it's awful, but you can't have the Titan blow up in front of you as an individual player. Do we agree on that, or do we think would we be fine with that? I think I'd think it was awful because people would post videos on YouTube almost immediately of here's me destroying the Raging Titan.
Yeah,
And it would just be too much like, well, hang on, I destroyed it yesterday. That it just doesn't work, does it?
No, I think the only way that you could do this is in some form of team action where there are. Let's just. I was going to actually suggest this. You have obviously 3 ways of hurting the Titan, and one is on foot, one is using an SRV somehow, driving over the Titan and placing something, and there's something that you can do in ship, and everybody can do that, do their individual little bit, and if by the end of the month or some time, the amount of damage that is done to the Titan is over a certain level, then it could be a case of, due to everybody's combined effort, the Titan is destroyed or is more likely disabled. And then it's up to the Thargoids to try and resurrect that particular.
Yeah, that's what you mean. A bar, basically a progress bar that we all chip away at, and we.
Yeah, as Ben has just pointed out, essentially one massive CG.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, go on, Ben. What were you going to say?
I said what you. I was going to say what you just said about it. Basically, a month-long CG to do damage to Thargoid.
Or they could actually do it in 3 stages, where you've got to do. You remember how the old Interstellar? What was it called? There was
Initiative.
Interstellar Initiatives. You remember how those used to run?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. How did they differ from CGs?
Very literally.
Well, there were CGs, but they were linked narratives.
Okay.
And so you could have one CG 1 week to do this thing with the Titan. Then, if that has succeeded, then the next week. Yeah. And then basically you have these 3 CGs all linked together, and then at the end of the CGs, then boom, Titan either gone or disabled. I mean, I know how some people feel about the fact that, okay, once it's gone, then does it come back?
No, in my opinion. Got a question for you, actually.
Go on.
When, on the assumption it goes, remember how when we first came in, there was a video or an in-game rendering of evil twats, mega ships, lots of green stuff. Yeah, Daddy Savlon. If we did this, should we get like some kind of equivalent when you log in the next time after it's gone boom? This should be some kind of awesome epic boom, mother load shots, and you get Thargoids exploding all over your cockpit or something.
That could be possible.
Yeah,
but I do feel that the Titans really should only become vulnerable if they've lost, like Tanaris is at the moment. It's lost all the occupied systems around it.
That seems reasonable to me.
Yeah,
that could be part of it, couldn't it? You have to chip away at the systems around it, and at that point, you can use whatever it is that Ramtar is working on.
Maybe that would only start the whole process of actually maybe chipping away at it and getting that down would be the start of the Interstellar Initiative. You can't even do it until you've done that.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I have a question which I'd like people to sort of think about is so the Spire sites that have been deactivated, LCU. Have you got a better word for what happens to Spire sites?
I don't have a better word for it. Deactivated seems appropriate.
Let's go with deactivated. Right. So I think I'm right in saying that once they're deactivated, we haven't seen any sign of a Spire site reactivating. Is that right?
Hmm.
So I feel like this. I don't know. I feel like there's kind of a precedent there that says something about the way Frontier think about these things and the way I feel like over the years we've had quite a lot of these things where we've talked on the show. It's something that I feel I've talked about a lot. I think maybe it's sort of important to me, these ideas of these game loops that we put fires out and they seem not to light again. I suppose there are examples where that does happen actually. But anyway, Spire sites, we've shut them down. Doesn't seem much evidence of them springing back to life. So I feel like that if we shut down Titan, if we do this thing, if we clear everything around it, then it's vulnerable. Then we use Ramtar's weapon and we chip away at progress bar and we finally shut down the Titan or explode it or whatever. I feel like maybe it would remain shut down. And eventually, I mean, this could take a very long time, but eventually I feel like maybe we shut down all 8. And I've thought about this in the past week or so. And one thing I am curious about is, does anyone think it's possible that Frontier's plan for all this stuff, the Titans and the Spires, was always that it was a fixed term bit of gameplay? It was what we would be doing in 2023, 2024, and that it had an end date. They had a feeling in mind that there would come a point where we were done with that content and it would all be dormant, and future players would fly around dead Titans and remember the days when, the 2023, 2024 season when we had a Thargoid war. What do you think? Do you think there's a possibility that that's their model, that it's a fixed? Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying? That it's
I know what you're saying. It's just I feel that it's a shame that gameplay will be lost.
It is and it isn't. It does allow it to have an end, a satisfying conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you guys think, but there is definitely a thing to I was here that I've had in some other MMOs, that if you never do anything, then it's always the same. You go and you all work together, you take this thing down, and we all know it's happening this weekend, and because this is Elite, we could all get to the glorious money shot. Whether you're logged in or not, that's fine. But if you didn't take part in it and you weren't around when the Thargoid died, well, tough. And I see where you're coming from, Colin. It would be a shame to remove the content, but I know from personal experience that I look back on certain one-off events with a hell of a lot of memories.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, it could be just a simple case of they let this run. The Thargoid Titans go dormant, and then Frontier say, right, okay, that's the end of that Thargoid war for the moment. But they can always bring or reactivate that content at a later point. Yeah. So okay, there'll be the second. This is effectively the second Thargoid war, isn't it? So the second Thargoid war happens, humanity wins. We just wait until there's a third one, Thargoid War 3.
And, ignoring Frontier's current situation, if everything was still going according to plan, you could imagine players coming along in 2024 and going, I've seen all these videos and I'd quite like to visit a Titan and do all this cool stuff of poisoning it. And you just, the response to that would be, I'm sorry, you missed it. That was last year's season of content. I kind of almost feel like that'd be all right, if it was replaced with a new season of something else that was big that they could get involved in.
I remember many years ago they had the Thargoid combat zones, and I was writing some software for reporting on them, and then all of a sudden they stopped appearing, and they didn't show up again for at least 2 years, and it was a thoroughly dispiriting experience for me, that there was something that I knew existed, I wanted to experience it, and it was gone. And But we do see things. I mean, we still, if you go to places like Dolphy, there are still wrecked megaships that still get visited by Thargoids. I think there's, I think a lot of these things just tend to hang around for a very long time, and people coming in new, they're new to them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've just found this wrecked megaship in Delphi, and there's Thargoids all over it, and then they come to Canada and we say, no, it's old, and then they get disappointed. But it's exciting for them before we just basically completely
burst the bubble for you. Yeah,
it would be cool, wouldn't it? I mean, actually, a husk of a Titan, if you could still visit it, it'd be an amazing thing to go and see, even if you couldn't take part in. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really warming to the idea.
It would be, but just think of all the effort that the Thargoids have gone to make these Titans, and then for them to be gone for good. It just seems like an awful waste, for something that's only going to be around for a year or two, and then maybe come back in a couple of years. I don't know. I think they would probably want to have either replenish them or on a regular basis, or have some other mechanism. That have them disabled, and then after a certain period or under the right conditions become re-enabled.
Yeah, I mean that's and then we do have this issue about the fact that it'll turn into war without end, which, well, to tell you the truth, I mean,
well, war doesn't ever end. There's an escalating arms race. There'll be something new comes along. We'll keep them all disabled, and then they'll come up with some new creature or mechanism that will frustrate humankind, and then and then we'll come up with some new weapon to neutralize that. It'll just go on forever. But that's the nature of war.
It is, unfortunately, because you just have to look at the human systems when the factions just go to war and
it's
combat zones turn up.
There's an arms race in nature. Creatures evolving new mechanisms all the time.
Very true. Very true. I mean, right. Well, I guess we've kind of let that one run. We've had some nice suggestions in the chat rooms, though. A lot of them have just been. I don't know whether it's been about a 50-50 split, where the people have just saying, no, just disable them, or neutralize them, don't destroy them. A lot of people are kind of agreeing that it's kind of they'd like to have the stuff left in, maybe to be reactivated at another point, but
we haven't really touched on what we actually, I suppose we have with their sort of pie in the sky suggestions at the beginning, but what Ramtar's thing is actually going to be. Is it going to be another limpet? It's going to be another limpet, isn't it? I don't know.
What's it going to be? Nothing to do with his Guardian porn research, that's for sure.
Oh, God, look at the nodules on that. Yeah, right, okay. Except they don't have nodules, do they? It's all angles, isn't it? The Guardian stuff is all pretty much...
Indeed, triangles, lots of triangles. Look at the triangles on that.
Yeah, look at the rhombus on that. Yeah. Ah, dear. Anyway, I mean, do you think that we might need Salvation's help to get rid of the Titans? Are they going to bring him in at some point to give us a Titan-killing weapon?
I think so. It sounds like Ramtar's got this, doesn't it? I don't think so.
It does, actually. He's got an idea.
Yes, but Salvation is definitely unfinished business. There must be something more to that story.
Yeah.
In fact, he is the subject of one of my songs that I'm working on currently.
So if we actually...
Can I beg you, please do not give us any exclusive previews this evening live.
It's going to be a particularly challenging one to listen to. It's based on an old song by Susie and the Banshees.
So if you consider it challenging to listen to, oh God, help us all. Right.
It was based on a White Stripes song. It was going to be Salvation Army.
I know, that's it. LCU, you are our secret weapon. We are going to get you to sing at the Thargoids, and it'll be just like Mars Attacks. Someone deploy the LCU weapon.
This is indeed the main thrust of my research, is to cause these sorts of effects.
Excellent. Right. Is there any other thoughts about dealing with Titans that pops into your head?
No, I'm really struggling to imagine what the actual bit of kit we're going to get is. I mean, it's going to be a module, I assume, but
some sort of breaching limpet so that you can enter inside and stalk the interior. I think would be.
I think for me, the most likely to my mind is, given we have sort of a little bit gone down the mining route, mining, I feel like maybe it is a seismic charge launcher, but it won't, much as I would like it, it won't blow up the Titan, but it does it might damage its half. It does a bar's worth of damage on the progress bar.
Yeah, I've got a bad feeling you're right, Alec. That's what I'm expecting, and I hope I'm wrong.
And then
I must admit, when people were mentioning that kind of thing, I mean, I am wanting more like Spire-like content, where Odyssey is used to its full potential, as opposed to a reworking of mining mechanics. Which I know they did do a fantastic job with the sound and the graphics and all that kind of stuff, but I do feel that they're missing a trick.
We're not mining Thargoids.
Yeah, I think with LCU, where we have some kind of breaching pod, and you go inside the Titan in a certain place in order to, I don't know, sabotage it or poison it or something.
I mean, it could be quite a restricted area. Maybe you can only go so far, so that to make it less challenging for the development. But it would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a full sort of corridor assault all the way in.
I'm not expecting Mass Effect kind of thing.
No, we're not expecting the Mass Effect suicide mission. No, but that would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're expecting that, but
yeah. I mean,
all I can say is please don't suck.
I mean, if they do that, do you think you need to go in as a team?
I think you should. I don't think you will.
I hope not. In a way.
Perhaps as a team, if you're unengineered and the ability to go solo, if you.
Yeah, I don't mind that teams can make things easier, but I wouldn't want it to exclude solo players completely. I don't think.
Yeah, but come on, you shouldn't be able to solo a Thargoid mothership.
No, but you should be able to take part somehow, shouldn't you? Now you say it. I mean, you have a point. You shouldn't be able to solo.
This would be the equivalent of a raid, wouldn't it? This is where you have to get your.
What I honestly think, I think it's going to be essentially a glorified CG, and I think it's going to involve essentially we're going to mine the Thargoids to death as part of a glorified CG.
I mean, I know that's kind of what I'm half expecting as well, Ben. But I'm hoping that they do something more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Red matter limpet. Come on.
Red matter limpets. Yes. That's what we want. And then it'll be time differentials and it'll take you back to the old Elite game.
Honestly, got wireframe graphics, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's exactly what will happen. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if someone found Raxler and you shoved through the Raxler Stargate, and then all of a sudden you're just presented with the old Elite, the old Elite game, and you're going, "What's happened?"
Load new
That'd
commander.
be-
Yes, no.
Yes.
I mean that would be the ultimate burn because you couldn't get back.
Oh, here's a question. If you're going to go back to one of the universes, would you rather go back to the 84 universe or back to the 94 universe? Or 90, whatever. Would you rather go back to the Elite 84 or Frontier?
Oh, Jesus, that's easy. That I would prefer it be Oolite, which takes the best of Elite and the best of Frontier
Yeah.
and mashes them together.
Well, I'm more thinking, Frontier with its fully Newtonian everything, but no FSD, etc. And we've got the Dreaming.
Do you know how difficult that is to do it's practically impossible
Oh, it's
to
a
do
solo
in...
player game as well.
Oh, right. Okay. So
Yeah.
effectively you just want...
That's how you turn the servers off. Sorry.
Ideas along those lines.
Oh,
That
God,
is-
can you imagine that? Elite Dangerous Frontiers.
Oh, that would be the ultimate troll.
Oh. Are you being serious though? How many people would like Frontier with modern graphics? Go back to the full Newtonian flight engine.
No.
Oh, no.
No. Put it this way, I mean, I did play Frontier and I did play First Encounters, but I wasn't as enthusiastic about it as other people have been. I much preferred the flight mechanics of the original Elite, which is why.
So did I.
Which is why I prefer, and I really have to wash my mouth out with soap and water for this, but I preferred Privateer and Privateer 2 to Frontier First Encounters.
Yeah, but then you also like that Newtonian physics game that you loved.
Oh yeah, I War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved I War because that took Newtonian physics and made it fun. It wasn't exactly fun in Frontier and First Encounters.
I'm not familiar enough with FFE. Is this a bit like a flight assist on versus off argument? Are you
just imagine the entire game is flight assist off.
I mean, it's a hell of a learning curve, but it's glorious once you get there.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things that some people, especially in the older YouTube channels, I know Crash raved about it, is that once you got the hang of the flight assist off, then the game, it was great. There was just it turned the learning cliff into a learning
overhang.
Yes, basically. It turned it into a learning Wile E. Coyote with a little sign going, help.
Yeah, I mean, as with the modes discussed last week, open, solo, private, I think, having the option, turning it flight assist on or off is the perfect solution, really.
Mac Winston points out, Ben, that Tom Morton, the aforementioned Tom Morton, he's been working on Pioneer for years, which is effectively a Frontier a Frontier clone with modern graphics.
Wasn't Pioneer the name of one of Chris Roberts' games as well?
No, don't think so.
Privateer, but I thought there was another one that he did as well. I could be wrong.
There was Strike Commander, Wing Commander, and Privateer.
Okay, I thought he did Pioneer as well.
Yeah, there was
another game of that. Whatever.
Then there's Star Lancer and Freelancer.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's it.
Star Lancer, I really enjoyed. That was an update to Wing Commander, which I really, really enjoyed. And then you had Freelancer, which I went, oh, okay. As I keep on saying, I love the world of Freelancer. I just cannot stand its flight model. But yeah. Anyway, I think we'll leave this and it'll be interesting to see if we're right. We'll come back. We'll get LCU back and say you were right or wrong.
Almost certainly wrong.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? Right, well, we'll move on to any other business. So just to let people know that the Dex Legacy Season 2, it returns with an explosive and thrilling adventure, Interlude 1 Secondary Subjects. It premiered tonight on Lave Radio. You can find further information at thedexlegacy.com, including links to the paperback book, The Dex Legacy Season 1, collected scripts and commentary by Emily Inkpen, and there's also the complete Season 2 in HD and audio. So, yep, that's that'll be good. Right. In other news, well, if you know Psychit, then you know Katie Chaos. Around 6, she has had to put out a justgiving.com for asking for crowdfunding. We thought we'd put this one in because we do like Katie. However, she's written this in her crowdfunding or Just Giving page. Around 6 months ago, I noticed my eyesight had declined rapidly over a short time. I visited my optician and was told I have cataracts in both eyes. That will get progressively worse and will severely limit what I'm able to do and affect my ability to work and my ability to drive, which is essential to my job. As I'm an educational manager for a small national LGBTQ+ charity. The current waiting list on the NHS could be as much as 2 years or more, and at the rate my eyesight is deteriorating, I will have to stop work and driving well before then. Please help me raise $4,500, which should help cover the cost of the cataract removal for both eyes, and help me to continue to be able to support myself and others through works. Thank you. So, there we go. If you feel you're able to help Katie with the cataracts, we will include the link in the show notes. Right, moving on from there. Questions of the week. Well, Psychit put this up the other day, and it is connected with the main subject. The question is, Ramtar seems to be convinced we need relics in various states to defeat the Goids, which got us thinking, what 2 items in Elite do you think we need to combine in order to defeat the Thargoids? So I'm going to start with Commander Homburger. He says, a chameleon circuit to release pheromones and illusions to fool the Goids into thinking our ships are just other Goids, and then onion head injection limpets, because why should we have all the fun?
See,
like
that's
that.
reasonable.
Yeah,
I
when
love
in
the
doubt.
idea of just seeing a drunk Thargoid or a stone Thargoid.
Yeah, when in doubt, get them high.
Problem is, though, that's going to then just involve more missions to deliver escape pods because they'll get the munchies.
They'll probably just keep turning on their blue flashy thing because they'll think it's psychedelic. Like, yeah, do the blue flashy thing again, and it'll just be even more destructive than ever.
Right. Anyway, some bloke called Ben saying, I'd combine the leftover used up kittens from Kitten Brand Coffee with some Centauri Mega Gin. These kittens would then get fired at Thargoid motherships, which would get torn by shreds by discarded, bitter, overly caffeinated, angry from the trip into Hutton and excessive alcohol kittens. Because there's nothing more deadly than an angry kitten.
So effectively, you want to fire kittens at the Titan.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. Let's do it. I've got Stephen Usher, who hopefully has a more sensible suggestion. Stephen says,
"You've not read this, have you?"
No, I haven't. I'm setting myself up for a fall, I can tell already. Unfortunately, neither of the commodities required to end the war exist in the game. Tea and biscuits. Thank you, Stephen Usher, for your contribution.
I thought tea was in the game.
How is tea and biscuits going to defeat the Titans, honestly?
If you're having a nice cup of tea and biscuits, you're not going to be in the mood to go all pissy on people, are you?
I see. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah.
All right.
Commander Crichton Zeroth, he has suggested an alternative Guardian module for biological sampler, effectively switching it from suck to blow. I'm not sure I like where this is going. Which can then infect critical points aboard a Titan. I guess then we'd also need a green mode for the arc cutter to get through those pesky Titan doors. So obviously this is someone who wants to get in and get his hands dirty on foot. Or get his feet dirty, something like that.
It's just the thought of actually sort of getting hold of those doors and green slime and just trying to open them. Yeah. Well, I've got Malcolm Starkey. He says, really, a brown combat suit with built-in cycle clips for those difficult, really scary moments in battle. So obviously you'll be generating your own other component to take out the. Is that it? Is it? We're going just to manure them to death.
It does sound like it, doesn't it?
We're going to bomb them with a bio waste.
Take that, you
Slam!
filthy.
Silas Scratcher Rezzi's suggestion: multi-cannon belt loaded with shot glasses of Centauri Megagen.
It's the onion head all over.
Yeah.
Yep. It's basically get the Thargoid drunk again.
Get them drunk, then get them high, then shower them with tea and biscuits, and they'll be fine. And then throw kittens at them.
So basically, you want to get them drunk, get them high, and hoping that the hangover would kill them.
Yeah. Yes. I like that. Death by hangover.
Could be worse. Could be death by snoo.
Yeah. I've got Ancilla, who simply says AI relics and SAP-8 containers. Possibly a sensible suggestion. Somebody remind me, what are SAP-8 containers? LCU, as our resident scientist, fill me in on SAP-8.
Oh, I don't remember. I think they were. No, it's gone. It's gone.
They were things and stuff.
Yeah, things and stuff. I think they were ephemeral. They degraded after time in your hold, if I remember correctly.
I seem to remember. I mean, they were a very rare thing that you could pick up somewhere, weren't they? And it didn't seem to be a use for them. And
it contains a crystalline shard of unknown origin, apparently. Scans indicate that the foot-long shard is suspended inside a modified self-sustaining fusion core containment field, and any breach of the field will result in the container's destruction. That doesn't sound very useful at all, does it?
Don't know. Sounds like the sort of thing that could have the potential to wreak havoc. There's a couple of suggestions in chat. DJ Wiley says, weren't they to do with the old Dark Wheel missions? Epithus says, aren't they something from the Black Flight ships?
I do like what Wally has said. He said, I recommend making Vogon poetry available for on-foot download. Create a paper plane maker and finish off with Olympic bombing runs.
Vogon poetry sounds dangerously close to my own area of expertise, and I wouldn't like someone encroaching on my territory. So,
What if they build a bypass?
Indeed. Richard Bentley, he said Panther Clipper, which I believe Panther Clipper is roughly the size of a Titan, if anyone's to be believed. I'm not sure quite what use that would be, but and his other suggestion is Raxler, which is not quite as silly as it would seem, because if we introduce the topic of Raxler to the Thargoids, they would probably disappear up that sphincter of theirs and sit there cogitating on it and leave humanity alone. So two very good suggestions there.
Or even say, no, Raxler's that way, and they all go looking for it.
Indeed. Even better. Yes. Oh, it's in the Andromeda Galaxy. Or turn left and off you go.
Yeah. You know that galaxy you can actually see from the Pleiades? Off you go. There you go. Right. Who's this psychic person? She would like a portable hole with a bag of holding. Am I right? So
that is going to be very destructive.
Yeah. So, what, you put a a portable hole over the Titan and then put that into the bag of holding?
I think a bag of holding into the portable hole near the Titan, and run.
I completely misread this. I thought it said portable hole and a bag of holding Marmite. And I was thinking, what the hell is holding Marmite?
I think portable holes would be far too dangerous. Imagine if you're carrying a portable hole and you trip up and drop it on the hull of your spaceship. It'd be chaos.
Although, thinking about portable holes, if there was a black hole generator that we could put in, slam that black hole right in the center of the Titan, instant spaghettification.
Well, it's shockingly similar to my suggestion.
Have you guys watched the Into the Spider-Verse? The second one?
Yes.
You know, essentially it's when Spots disappears off his own arse.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
I think the issue with having a portable black hole or black hole generator of some description is, of course, that ne'er-do-wells would probably put one in Jameson, in Shinrata Desra, and then basically destroy the station, and people wouldn't be able to buy their discounted goods.
Of course, you can't fall into a black hole because it's got an exclusion zone, which is handy.
Well, then the Thargoids wouldn't be able to get in or out, would they? Because they'd be excluded. So, yes.
Ben.
Okay, Ben.
And my microphone's muted. Moon Monday is suggesting a mech suit with multi-cannons. I would like mech suits in the game, I have to admit.
Yeah, along with speeder bikes.
Oh god, yeah.
That's what we want next. Speeder bikes and mech suits, please.
Yeah.
Speeder bikes with confetti cannons.
Oh yeah.
The coolest thing that Tom Cool's ever done. Yes, let's have it.
Confetti cannon, damn right.
I've got Tobias von Brandt, organizer of the Winter Olympics XXCCC VI Winter Olympic Games. He says, beer and more beer.
Understandable.
I concur.
Very understandable.
Well, I have Cheb's Will, who suggests peace and love, man. For God's sake, never in the history of mankind have we tried peace and love. It's never going to work. Get a grip.
Excellent. Well, I have Commander Tobias von Brandt.
Hang on, he's already had beer and beer. He's back with more.
Yes, he's now suggested rockets and trombones.
I like the fact that he started off drinking beer and then his suggestion has got sillier. It speaks volumes for the beer.
As long as that trombone's not rusty, I think you got a chance.
I was just about to say that. I imagine Ben might have some thoughts on that with that thing that he's been doing this week.
Yeah.
I've not been blowing any trombones.
No. I'll explain it to you later. I hope I don't have to, but never mind.
I've got a bad feeling you might. Anyway, moving on. Lexi Orchard is suggesting performance enhancers and gene banks. Just let them make some free-range clones somewhere far away from the bubble. There's nothing can go wrong with that, is there?
It sounds like there's a lot that can go wrong with that. We're going to go from 8 Titans to 8,000.
Fine.
Some bloke called Alec says, I assumed that we had to pick rare goods. Well, anyway, whatever. I would take a buckyball beer mat available from Rebuy Prospect in the Fullerene C60 system, folks. I'm allowed two buckyball beer mats, and I would frisbee them in through the Titan mail slot, thereby laying down a challenge for them to select a champion of their own, who I would pit against humanity's nominated champion. I'd suggest either Shay or Sker for a race to the death. Winner takes the galaxy.
Nice one. My final suggestion is that we find the Thargoid Queen and plug her into the total perspective vortex. End of.
You are here.
Yeah, so that's.
We could just show her the galaxy map, frankly.
Admittedly, that is like, the closest I've ever got to the total perspective vortex, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. I like Soccer 42's suggestion. He just says send in Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing a whole load of thing about the Thargoids the other day on my stream, because I remember there's some things that Michael Brooks, Alan, and the stuff that was in Mr. James's book, all about the fact that the Thargoids are all female and there's just one king or one male. And yeah, so it's kind of like the opposite of having a queen.
Yeah.
I didn't realise there was one male.
He must be a busy boy.
Have you not seen the historical documents of Captain Kremen when he was with the Thargoids? There are actual pictures of what the Thargoids look like.
Yes.
Wintermute GB said, "Can't we just broadcast redneck hillbilly radio at them?" Sort of, we've got LCU singing at them. I think that's cruel enough.
Yeah, it's kind of covered, really, isn't it?
It is. Right. Well, thanks to everybody for your suggestions. Always nice as usual. So I guess, does anybody else have any other business before I start with the shout-outs? Surely, LCU, there's something you'd like to plug.
Well, I suppose I could mention that we are planning on activating all of the Guardian beacons simultaneously. To what end, I'm not sure. I doubt very much that anything exciting will happen, but it's just to say that we've tried it and failed. I'm not sure if there's a date for this yet, but I will let you know as soon as we have a date and maybe people can join in.
I like it. How many are there?
I think it's 30 beacons.
There's 30 beacons? I thought there was only 3.
Oh, no, there's definitely more than 3.
Oh.
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure. No, I think they're... Oh, let's have a look. I have a look at my spreadsheet.
These are the spacebound things that you get the keys from.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realise there were that many.
Yeah, I think there's a fair few dotted around.
I'll just try and find my documents.
Man looks stuff up on the internet. Yes.
There we go. Guardian sheet. Guardian beacon. Yes, 30 beacons.
Wow. Again, just impressed by the sheer amount of things that Canon people do.
In fact, I could tell you our records aren't 100% up to date, but we've got something like 500 sites, 200 structures. Yeah. No, actually, I'm not sure these figures are quite correct.
Slightly more of what I thought you originally had in mind. Slightly more of a challenge, but still doable. I think is the Guardian ground sites where you have the are they called beacons on those as well? Pylons. I was thinking activate all the pylons simultaneously.
Oh my
goodness! And the
that's...
beacons. Why not activate it all?
That'll be a challenge. Even more of those.
Yeah, that would be a little bit too much for me.
And the time aspect of the coordination would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I had always hoped to do one day, I've never organised it, was to collect up carriers full of Thargoid links, dump them all into space all at once, and trigger them all at the same time, and see what happens with it. Would it destroy the fabric of the universe?
Oh yeah, that would be good. They're the ones that reorientate themselves to point somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, so the idea was that we would reprogram them with some location of some suitable nebula out of the way for the Thargoids to bugger off to, and then we would make an unmistakable noise by triggering all these things simultaneously, and see if the Thargoids got the message that they weren't wanted. But no, I doubt we'll get around to doing that. There's just so many things to do. I look at these people who say, "Oh, the galaxy's so boring. It's only an inch deep and a mile wide." And I mean, there's so much new stuff. I haven't done half of it, and it'll probably be decades before I've actually finished doing it all.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, then I'm looking to doing that for Top Shift. Is I'm going to be going through every single little bit of content that I've missed out on, which is a lot of the operation missions in space. There's an awful lot of USSs I haven't visited and haven't done. I've never driven off a capital ship. Something I
haven't.
No.
I've been involved in a combat zone when the capital ships have got in, and then up until a couple of weeks ago, I forgot that happened until one dropped in, and that is a brown flight suit moment.
I've only seen it once, but I saw one spawn in over a ground settlement that was on fire. You know, a Thargoid combat ground settlement, and a capital ship spawned literally over the city. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've done my Happy Moon Monkey. I have done the Ramtar missions. They are fantastic. I've really enjoyed them. That was a fantastic piece of content, especially the sampling that you needed to do from some of the Thargoids. That was squeaky bum time.
Have you visited all of the codexes in the galaxy, all the codex entries?
Yes,
so that's one thing. So there's 984.
Yes, there's a lot. I had a lot of time on my hands at that particular point.
I still haven't managed. I'm about 86% of the way. It's a lot of travelling.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot in this game. The problem is it's only an inch deep if you think it's an inch deep. There's a lot more depth to it, but you've got to go looking for it.
If you stand on the shore with your toes in the water and say it's an inch deep, well, you're an idiot, basically.
Nice, like that.
Right, on that note, we will go straight to our shoutouts. So our sister station, The Insignificant, according to Chat GPT, The Insignificant Hutton Orbital Radio. It broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30, and you can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. The discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. Yes, the guys are still there, and Musketeer still wants noobs. We'll give a shout out to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, which are still with us. That is the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well, and of course the wonderful Hillbilly Redneck Radio, the Loose Screws, who love their cheese over there in the States. And following this, we have a Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'll just like to thank everybody who's chipped in the Twitch chat. And what in-game commanders have we had, Ben? Have we lost Ben? Have you lost me?
No, hang on. When did Chris kill me? I just realised Chris killed me at some point, apparently. I don't know when. I died.
Wasn't that last week when he was trying to blow your canopy?
It says now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyway, we've Chris and I have basically been joined by William Solo this evening, I believe. I thought I saw somebody else earlier, but I can't. I don't have them in my history. Oh, but the client crashed. So yeah, somebody else came along as well, but I can't remember who it was.
All right. Chris is denying it. He says he wanted to kill you this week, but didn't.
Well, we did have a lot of fun shooting down nasty, horrible pirates in Orev and things like that. So yeah, we had fun doing that.
Right, and also special thanks to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stride, who have all created music that we use with this show. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find the contact links in the home/contact us menu on the laveradio.com website. Do let me know if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com. So, thanks to Ben.
Good night, Colin.
Thanks to LCU.
Well, good night, people. Go out there and touch some black.
Good night, Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist, the wonderful Commander Ventura.
You're welcome.
Who's incredibly quiet. But if that's the case, until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Makes it clear.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted.
Makes it clear.
Need a safe word.
Space can be done.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 23rd of January 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this month's news, we go back and review everything that's happened in the galaxy during the first 3 weeks of 3310.
The Empire has followed Zachary Hudson's lead, saying it will keep those of its citizens who have been rescued from the Thargoid Titans in protective isolation. The Alliance announced last year that it will return rescued Alliance captives to their families. However, there has as yet been no update on how that's been going.
The Alliance inquiry into whether its defence pact with the Sirius Corporation delivers value for money continues, with the Sirius Corporation claiming that it would all work out a lot better if the Alliance wasn't so bureaucratic and obstructive. Because blaming your customer is a great way to defend your failure to deliver a service.
Senator Zamina Torval has returned to the Imperial Senate, amidst rumours that she may be interested in taking over the Chancellorship when Anders Blaine retires. If she is appointed, the Chancellorship could give her an excellent platform to increase her power base within the Empire.
Aegis has asked for supplies of Guardian relics and unclassified relics to help engineer Ramtar build a prototype of a new weapon using Guardian technology that may finally enable the 8 Thargoid Titan command centres to be defeated. As usual for Ramtar's initiatives, commanders can drop the commodities off at Felice Dock in Mine to save them the bother of flying down to Phoenix Base. 3 types of Guardian-themed paint jobs are on offer for the most prolific participants.
Finally, President-elect Felicia Winters has been told that she can assume control of the Federation in about 3 weeks' time. She has appointed a number of cabinet ministers, none of whom are a surprise. When she is appointed, the presidency will give her an excellent platform to increase her power base within the Federation.
And that's this month's Galnet news so far. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
It could be like this.
Astrogator tours. Put some excitement back in your life. Book an adventure in the Lave Business Directory. Now.
Some ships don't feel the same. Some fights always go one way. Core Dynamics, bringing you strength, power, and performance.